Good day, everyone. Um, Welcome. Please, if you can hear me, just type in the private chat. Yes, I can hear you, so that I will know that everyone can hear me. So if you can hear me, just type yes, I can hear you, so that I will know that everyone can hear me. Okay. Okay. So welcome, everyone. My name is Oshaba Samson, and I am the founder of Africa Cloud Papa Family. So I and my team you join us in today's session, and we'll do our best to make sure that it's not going to be a waste of time. So without much time wasting, let's go for what we have for today. So today we'll be looking at Linux operating system and how to type Linux command, how to use Linux command. So, but before that, in our last session, someone complained on the comments that he couldn't follow up the class because of the screen size. The screen size was small, so he couldn't see what I was doing there. So what I will do today is to do a recap of what we did last week. So I'll just do a recap of how we did installation of Ubuntu operating system. Then from there we will continue. So if you are here and you have not actually watched our last class, I would advise you do that. Though it's not a prerequisite for this class, though, but it will be a good idea that you visit the class maybe after this class when you are free. You visit it so that you will know where we are coming from. You will understand the basics of you understand what cloud is all about. So I will share my screen now so that we can see how to install Ubuntu. Then from there, we'll move into what we have today. So if you can see my screen, type yes, I can see your screen, so that I will know that you can see my screen. Okay. So okay. So now let's install Ubuntu. So you before you because we are using Oracle VirtualBox. So in our last class, we talked about virtualization and Oracle VirtualBox. We also talked about Ubuntu. So um, so you need to download the Oracle VirtualBox, and you also need to download Ubuntu ISO. So if you have not done that, go back to our last class and see how we did it. So let me increase my screen. So if my screen is clear, kindly type my screen. My screen is clear. so that I can continue. If my screen is clear, if you can see the virtual box clearly, so type that you can see it clearly so that I can continue. Okay. Okay, so let's start. So the first thing is so you see this new icon here. So you click on it. So once you click on it, it brings out this dialog box. Then under this name, you type any name you want. So this is the name of the computer. So when you are installing a an operating system, at a certain point, like if you are installing Windows operating system, at a certain point, it asks you to type the name of the computer. So this is where we are typing the name of the virtual computer or virtual machine that of the name of the system. So let's use Linux 4. So here, so this is leave this one at default. Then let's click here. So here you select order. So click on order. Then you look for where your Ubuntu ISO is. So my own is on the desktop. So I'll select desktop. Then I'll select the ISO. Then I'll click open. So once I click open, and I'll click on next. So here now, you type your username. So the username, you can use any name. Let's use Linux. And you can type your password. Click on next. Then here you choose your memory. That's this. So this base memory is the RAM size, right? So the minimum is 2 gig, but you can, if you have enough RAM on your system, you can increase it. Like mine is 16 gig RAM, so I can increase it to, let's say, 4 gig RAM. 4 gig. So that's that. So this is the processor. So so let me make it three processors. Then click on next. So here you choose the storage size. So this is 25 gig. So if you have enough space, you can increase it. But I want to leave mine as a default. So click on next. So this is the summary of everything. This is the summary of everything. So if you are okay with that, you click on finish. So so if I go back, so you see that it has created another virtual machine here, which is Linux 4. So this is the virtual machine I just created. So it's installing, but I will not allow it to complete because of time. So if it completes, you will have your Ubuntu operating system running. So, but I will not let it complete because of time. So let's go to what we have today. So, so that's that. So let me use the one we did last week. So this is the one we did last week Saturday. So now, if I want to start it, if I want to start this one, so I'll select it first, then I'll click on start. So once I click on start, it will start the virtual machine. So let's just give it some minutes to boot up. Okay, so I'll type my password. So this is our Linux Ubuntu operating system. So Ubuntu is one of the flavors of Linux. So Linux have many flavors. We have the Red Hat, we have Ubuntu, we have Fedora, and other. So, but the one we'll be using in this bootcamp is Ubuntu. So this is our Ubuntu operating system. So first of all, let's look at so these are different programs. So let's look into this one, the files. So let's open it. So here you can see that it's just similar like what we have in Windows. So we have the desktop with the documents and other. So we'll look at that. So let's open the terminal because our main focus on this program is to use Linux commands. So what we'll be talking today is Linux command because as a cloud engineer, most times you'll be working with servers, and servers, the way to interact with servers is through terminal. So we'll be focusing on how to use terminals and how to use commands on this terminal. So now let's open the terminal. So you can see this dot below here. So let's click on it. So once I click on it, so look at my terminal here. So I will click on it. So this is my terminal. So let me bring it down here. So let me expand. So this is my terminal. So let me type something. So if you can see what I'm typing, indicate by typing you can see it. So that let me know whether to expand it or not. So if you can see what I typed, just indicate by saying you can see what I typed so that I will know whether I can expand it. Okay, so let's continue. So here is our terminal. So this is the files. So let's look at other places. So like this other location. So let's open up this other location. So this is normal folders we used before, download music and others. So let's look. So this is our home. So this home basically is specific to every user. So if you have John and John and James, so on the same system, they will have different folders for this home. So this home is specific for every user on the system. So provided you have your username and password differently, Linux will create a different home folder for you. So, but let's go to these other locations. So on these other locations, so let's open computer. So this place is where the whole files of the Ubuntu operating system is located. But we will not be going into details here. I just want I just want to let you know of this location. So so you can see the home folder here. So if I open it now, so you can see Ubuntu. So this is my username. My username is Ubuntu. So if I have other users, it will create different folders for other users. So if I open it now, so you can see that it will take me back to this home folder. So that's that. So if you are going to this location, be careful because anything you delete here might affect the operating system. So I just want to show you this location. So if you are installing any application, it will the operating system will install it in this location. So be careful if you are going into this location. So, but that's not our focus. We'll not be going into much details here. So let's go back to terminal. So let's go to home. Ubuntu. So let's go back to the terminal. So now, so this is our terminal. So basically, every operating system has two interfaces. We have the graphical user interface, that's the GUI, and the command line interface, that's the terminal. So in Windows, it's called command prompt, but in Linux or Mac, it is called terminal. So the graphical user interface is this one you can see where you can click, double click, and all of that. But the command line interface is where you type for every command you want to execute. You need to type it. But with the graphical user interface, you can click, double click, right click, and all of that because everything is every command is represented with pictures, right? So basically, before I forget, I prepared a document for this course. It's in the description below. It's on the asset folder. That you see a link to Google Drive, so you can use it to download the file so that you can follow up on the class. So let's talk about the advantages of CLI over graphical user interface. One is that it is more efficient. It's easier for bulk operations. Like let's say if you want to create multiple files, you can do that easily with command line interface. And it is more powerful that there are some operations that you execute on command line interface that can be done on the graphical user interface. So now let's look at some of the commands. So now let's type PWE, PWD, sorry. So this means print working directory of present working directory. So this PWD will show you your current location on the terminal. So if you want to, maybe you have typed too many commands, you don't know where you are. So you want to know where you are on the terminal. You just type PWD, press enter. So you can see my location. My location is home slash Ubuntu. So that's my location on the terminal. So now let's see another command. Let's see another command, ls. So if I type ls and press enter, so you can see how it will list out different folders and files on that particular location. So it will list out all the folders and files on that particular location. So you can see we have the desktop here. So you can see this is the location I am now. So the desktop, you can see it on the graphical user interface, document, the download folder, and all of that. So this means that on the terminal, I am in this location. So that's that. So now let's say I want to open this document. Like I want, if I'm on the graphical user interface and I want to open this document, what just need to do is to double click on it and it opens the document folder. But in command, in the CLI, for you to um, move to the document folder, what you need to do is use the command cd and you type the name of the folder or directory. So in Windows, it's called folder, but in Linux or in Mac, it's called directory. So I may be using two of them interchangeably. So now what I will do is to type cd document. So this means change directory to document. So once I press enter now, so I am in the document folder. I am inside the document folder. So now, so you can see that I have the test file here. I have the test file here. So if I type ls, so I want to list all the files and folders inside the document folder. What I need to do is to type ls, press enter, and you see that it will list this file here, which is the test file. So if you have any question, drop it on the chat. So after the class, I will look into it. I'll try and answer as much as I can. So that's that. So now, so what if I want to now create a new file on this document directory or document folder? So what I will do is to type touch, then the name of the file. Let's say test file. So you can add the extension like docx, png, and all of that. But I'll use txt. So so once I press enter, so you can see that it has created this file on the graphical user interface. So why I'm doing this is for you to understand how how the Ubuntu operating system works. Because when we get to the cloud, when we get to the EC2 instance where we'll be using the server, you might not have the opportunity to see the graphical user interface of how it works. So that's why I'm doing this, so that you can see how everything works and understand it better. Because I want to take you from what you already know to what you don't know. So that's that. So you can see that I've created the test var.txt. I've created a file. So I can, if I want, I can open it from here. So you can see that. So I can even type anything here. So this is a test file. I can save it and can close it. So that's that. So you can see that I've created a file inside my document folder or document directory. So the next one is creating a folder. So let's say if I want to create a folder, I type mkdir, then the folder name. Let's say test dir. So this is the folder name. So I'll press enter. So you can see that it has created a folder here or a directory here, which is called test.dir. So as I've created it, maybe I want to see if it's created it. So I can use ls to list all the files and folders. Press enter. So you can see that the directory is here. So I can change to the directory, cd x directory. So if I open here, so you can see the folder is empty. So if I say ls, nothing is here. So let's create a file here. So you can see that it has created a file inside the test dir folder. So the next one is deleting a file. Deleting a file. So now, if I want to delete this file on the graphical user interface, I will right click on it and delete it from here and delete it from here. So but now I don't want to delete it from here. I want to delete it from the terminal. So to delete it from the terminal, I will use what? RM space and you type the name of the file. So RM give space, then type the name of the file, press enter. So you can see that it has deleted the file, right? So let's create another one. Say test touch test 2, enter. That's that. So now you you know that we are inside what the test directory. So what if I want to go back to the document directory or document folder? So what I need to do is to type cd, then double double full stop, then press enter. Press enter. So you can see that I have gone back to the document folder. So now let's say ls, enter. So you can see that I have the test directory here. So let me try and use and delete the test directory. So let's say rm test dir, sorry, dir. So you can see that you will get a message that says rm cannot remove SDIR. So this is because it's a folder. So you can't use um, RM to delete a folder or directory. So now to delete a folder or directory, you will need a flag rm r s directory. So you need a flag. So this hyphen r means recursive. So what it means that you want to delete the folder and everything inside the folder. Remember that we have a file called test2 inside the folder. So it cannot delete only the folder. So it needs to delete the folder and everything inside the folder. So let's press enter. So you can see that it has deleted everything, both the folder and everything inside that folder. So now let's talk about renaming a file on the command prompt. So let's talk about renaming a file on the command prompt. So now to rename a file, so let's say this test here, I want to rename it. So let's say ls. So you can see that I don't have space. So I want to clear everything on this place so that I will have enough space. So to do that, I'll type what? Clear. So once I type clear and press enter, it cleans up everything. So now let's rename the test file. So to rename the test file, we will type mv. So this mv means move. So move test. So test is the name of the file. Then you give space, then type the new name you want it to bear. So let's say test recovery. Test recovery. So once I press enter, so you can see that it has changed the name from um, test to test recovery. So let's say now we want to, okay, let's create a new folder, ADIR. So we have created a new folder called test dir. So if I want to move this file to this test dir, then what I would do is to say move as mv test recovery, then the name of the folder test dir. Once I do that and press enter, you can see that it has moved it from this document folder inside this document folder to the test dir folder. So that's that. So let's look at the next command, which is copy. So we want to copy. So let's go back to document. So we want to copy this test var to inside. We want to duplicate it. One will be here on the document folder, and one will be on the test dir folder. So now we say cp test var and test name of the folder. Press enter. So now you can see this one is see here, but so if I open this, so you can see that I have the test var inside the test directory folder. So that's that. Now, okay, let me clear this. So for example, I have typed a lot of command. Maybe I have forgotten some of the command that I typed. So I want to see the list of all the commands that I have typed so far on this terminal. So I want to see all the commands I have typed so far on this terminal. I will type what history. Press enter. So you can see that so it will list all the folders, all the commands that I have typed so far on this terminal. So maybe you forgot a command and you want to see all the commands that you have typed, then you can use the history command. So let's clear the page. So now we have another command. So we have history. So if you want to see the 10 latest commands you type, maybe you have the command is too long, so you just want to see the latest 5 commands you typed. So let's say you type history 5. So you can see the last 5 commands that I have typed on the terminal. So that's that. So the next one is um, so let's talk about hidden folders. So now hidden folders basically are folders that are there, but you will not see it. So now let's say, let me go back to the home folder. Let me go back to the home folder. If I type ls here, so you see that I see only few directory here, but there are other directories here that you cannot see. So those ones are what we call the hidden folders. And these folders always start with dot. So these folders always start with dot. So in order to see this folder, what you need to type is ls-e. So press enter. So you can see there are other folders. So you can see the .bash rc, you can see the .local, you can see profile and others. So those ones are called hidden folder. So unless you want to see it specifically, then you can use the -a argument to see them. So now the next one is cat. So let's look at cat. So cat. So let's say in this text recovery. So I you can see that I typed some text inside here. Let's say the second line. I can save that. So now the content of this test recovery, if I want to see it on the command line, if I want to see the content of this test recovery on the command line, then what I'll need to do is to first of all we'll change into the document directory. We'll change to test dir directory. So let's say ls. So this is my test recovery file, which is this one here. Then what I need to do to see the contents of this file, I will say cat test recovery, test recovery. And once I press enter, you can see that it has shown me um, the content of the test recovery file. So that's that. So we will also look at how to edit file in the command line, but that will be later. So now let's say I want to know the details. So let me clear screen. So if I want to know the details of this operating system, that's the Ubuntu operating system that I'm using, I can use what? Uname -a, press enter. So you can see this is a Linux operating system, Ubuntu and other stuffs. So if that's that. So there's another command also you can use to know the details of the operating system. Press enter. Sorry about that. Okay, I made a mistake here. So you can see. So this one will give you more details. So you can see the ID, the name is Ubuntu. Sorry, the name is Ubuntu. Then the family is Debian. And so this is the version. The version is 20.04 and other information in it. So that's that. So let's clear the screen. So now if you want to know your RAM size, you want to know your RAM size, so you can use ls so ls memory. So press enter. So you can see the RAM size here. So so the RAM size for this virtual box for this virtual machine is 4 gig, but here you know that the operating system will use, so you can see here 4 gig, right? So that's that. So if you want to know about the CPU, so you can use ls cpu enter. So there's a whole lot of information about the CPU. So you can see it has 32 bits and 64 bits. The architecture is 8664. You can so the number of CPU is 4, just like as we did when creating the virtual box. You can see where I gave it 4 CPUs. So the number of CPU is 4, and a whole lot of other information. So that's for the CPU. So now, so the next thing is creating of user. So when we were installing the VirtualBox, we created a user. So if you are logged in, you can also create another user. So let's do that. So let's say, so to create a user, you use what? Add user and the name. So let's say John. So you can see that it's giving me error that it is only the root user that can create a user. So we will talk about users more later in the we'll talk about users later. So now, but we have what we call the root user. So the root user is the super admin that has the privilege to execute all commands, right? But now I am Ubuntu. I'm just a regular user, so I don't have privileges to execute some commands, like for example, like creating a user. So now, but if I want to escalate my user so that I'll be able to execute some privileges that is attached to root user, then I will need to use a keyword called sudo. So this sudo will help you escalate the regular user to execute some commands that the root user have privilege to do. So if I say sudo add user on, press enter. So you type password. Sorry, sudo. Uh, ins- okay, it's saying that Ubuntu is not added um, to sudo was file. So maybe later I will see what the problem is. So we'll be talking about users more in details. So we'll look at what that error is all about. Right. So let's talk about installation of packages, installation of programs or packages. So in Windows, we call it program, but in Linux, we call it packages. So for example, so we have what we call the package manager. So you know that when you want to install something like MS Word, when you want to install something like MS Word, you download a file. So that file is what you use to install the program. So that file is the package manager. So that's what will helps you install the program on your system. So in the same way, we have a package manager on Ubuntu. So now one of the package managers in Ubuntu is apt. So apt is one of the package manager in Ubuntu. So it will help you install programs or packages on the operating system so that you can use them. So now let's see how to install an operating system. Let's see how to install a package in Ubuntu. So now we can say sudo to, to install a package on Ubuntu or any Linux operating system. So the first thing you need to do is to update the operating system. So in that way, what you'll be installing is will be the current version of the program. So now let me update my operating system. So now I'll say apt update, sudo apt update, enter. So you type your password. So let's clear. Sudo apt update. Okay, saying that my Ubuntu is not added to sudo file. So maybe later I'll look into what the problem is. So I don't want this class to be more than an hour. So we'll stop here for today. So maybe on our next class we'll continue with installation of packages. So if you have any question, you can drop it on the comment section or on the chat so that I will answer them. Thank you. Have any question? Drop it on the comment or box so that I'll answer them. So basically, I know these commands are a bit scary. Um, you don't need to, let's say, you don't need to know them off heart. You don't need to cram them. What you need to do is to have it in a place. So once you want to use them, you just copy and paste. So if you continue using them constantly, you start internalizing them. Before you know it, you get used to them. And that's how I learned how to use these commands. Right? That's how I learned how. So you don't need to have these things off heart. You don't need to cram them. You just need to practice them often for you to get used to them. So I've prepared a document as I've said before. You can download it from the description. Um, so that's that, guys. So thank you for joining us today. So if you have any, kindly drop it on the chat so that I will be able to answer as much as I can. So if you have any question or anything to say, so you can just drop it on the comment or on the private chat so that I will be able to answer them. Okay. So if there is no question, um, so Ahmed is saying, can someone have a VM on a standard user on PC? Uh, I'm sorry, I didn't get that question clearly. But if you are talking about installing virtual machine on a VM on Windows, Yes. If you go to the link, you see a virtual box for different operating system. So you can install on Windows as well as you can also install on Linux as well. So, okay. Okay. Michael is asking why are people being banned from from the Telegram group? We are sorry about that. I just woke up this morning to see that the Telegram group has been removed from our end. We have applied to know the reason, but we have not gotten feedback yet. So my team is working on that. But if we are not able to recover the Telegram group, then we will create another one and we'll share it as well. Okay, sorry about that, Michael. We just woke up to that. So if so, it seems there are no more questions. So we'll stop here for today. So we'll stop here for today. So if you have any question, maybe when you're if you are practicing and you encounter any problem, kindly drop the question either on the group or on the comment section. One of our team members will try to reach out to you. So we appreciate your time. We appreciate your time. Please, if you have learned anything today, try to. Okay, okay, Chinedu is saying hi. Thank you. So, if you have been impacted today or have learned something today, try and drop a comment and also like the video. This will help the YouTube algorithm to be able to reach out to more people. Okay. I'm asking. You have we can have an admin and standard user on a PCR. So I'm asking instead of having a VM on an admin, can we have it on a standard user? I think so. You can still have a VM on a standard user. You can still have a VM on a standard user. Though I have not done that, but I think it should be possible. It should be possible. So thanks everyone. Thanks everyone. Um, so I will see you guys next week, Saturday. So if you are coming, come with your friends so that they can learn as well. Thank you. Have a great weekend ahead of you.